The City of Johannesburg Metropolitan Council embarked on an initiative in 2018 to rename the iconic William Nicol Drive to Winnie Mandela Drive, paying tribute to the esteemed stalwart Winnie Mandela. Executive Mayor of the City of Johannesburg, Kabelo Gwamanda, is officially hosting the renaming ceremony in Sandton. He's at the podium now. Let's listen in.
In our agenda to promote social cohesion and towards building a resilient future within which our past is never forgotten. This is a step towards dismantling remnants of oppression and subjugation. My role in this august occasion is very simple, and that is to ensure in practice that we never forget, be it who we are or where we come from. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the generational gap, I do not think I qualify to speak to the life of this remarkable woman, except to acknowledge the fact that she was indeed a God's gift to South Africa, and that we remain eternally grateful for her. However, program directors, allow me to quote words from Mama Winnie herself when she says, "We shall not delve into the finer aspects of our history. All we need to remember is that not one city, not one road, railway line was built without us. We have made our country what it is. We have dug up, we are still digging up the wealth of our land. The gold, the diamonds, the coal, and surrendered those to whites who own them, of them being white." Fellow residents in the city of Johannesburg, singayisusa nanini la. Those are the words that echo to this very day. A fighting spirit lives on in all of us, in various aspects of our ordinary lives. The determination and sheer will to conquer and prosper by all means necessary. Earlier this year, I delivered a State of the City address, which was titled "Understanding Our Past in Rebuilding a Resilient City that is People-Centric." And suffice to say, ladies and gentlemen, that this is exactly what we meant by understanding our past. This symbol marks not just the life of a heroine, but a big hope on which our history was defined. It is, however, in my view, that South Africa was denied an opportunity of the first female president in the African continent. An opportunity that could have united the nation in a cause that is unambiguous, where the redistribution of wealth and land reform is central to service delivery in a form of restitution. Instead, we grapple with cognitive dissonance, all whilst losing the confidence of the nation as a result of legislative limitations and constitutional impediments. Children of the sun, freedom attained with annexes, fine printing the deprivation of the right to self-determination is on its own a neo-colonial state of affairs and an indictment on the part of our people. Citizens and residents alike, I would like to beg your indulgence as I state without fear of contradiction that as a people, we should never be coerced into downplaying our history and dismissing it as an excuse for the status quo. In simple terms, apartheid did exist. and its legacy still prevalent to date. And therefore, we must never tire in confronting this institutional malevolence, lest we lose the heroines' sacrifice and we allow them to go in vain. We equally have to be cognizant of the presence of class antagonism as an enabler of an imminent threat of our regression back to authority rule. But this time, it is strategically advanced through democratic processes and so-called moonshot pacts. And just to remind all of us, as we deal with this strange phenomenon of coalition governments in South Africa, this country is the only one in the African continent that continues to have a retrospective regime conduct oversight over the affairs of the state in the form of opposition. And yes, our constitution in its preamble sets the tone and states that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. It is therefore on that premise that siyazibika kuwe mama, that the government of local unity in the city of Johannesburg is an administration that is anchored by a unity of purpose, that is resilient in its approach towards fulfilling its mandate to the residents in the city as a constitutional creature of law and statutes. And whilst we are confronted by a reoccurrence of disasters, as well as disruptions in service delivery due to a historical infrastructure maintenance backlog and financial sabotage orchestrated by the then multi-party coalition, or moonshot pact, we, as the majority in the Johannesburg Metropolitan Municipality, will endeavor in our commitment to manifesting a world-class African city that we can all be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, as a child from Soweto, who was born at the height of instability and a transitional period in our country, it is both a privilege and an honor that I stand here today as the executive mayor of this historic city to commemorate this firebrand, Mama Winnie Mandela, who dedicated her adult life in pursuit of democracy and freedom that we enjoy today, who also stood steadfast in championing the struggle of young people in our country. And being the youngest executive mayor to be trusted with this responsibility of steering the ship, I boldly say that I have the pleasure of representing Mama Winnie's envisioned goal. On this day, the 26th of September, 2023, Mama Winnie Mandela would have been celebrating her 87th birthday. And with that having been said, on behalf of the City of Johannesburg, its executive, and all the residents, we would like to say happy birthday, Mama Mandela. May the undying spirit of Mama Winnie live on in all of us. I thank you.
Now that there, the executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Kabelo Gwamanda, officiating really what we are seeing there in the name change of William Nicol Drive. The drive now being changed from William Nicol to Winnie Mandela Drive.